Got Andrea Smith on the line calling in from Sedona right now.
Aloha.
Aloha, Andrea. It's always such a treat to talk to you.
Likewise, honey.
And I kind of just have to keep up with you through Facebook posts, and you always do lovely ones, and your newsletter. Many people still, of course, know you personally here on Maui, and you do bounce back and forth from Sedona to Maui quite often, and you also bounced over to Egypt quite often, right?
Yeah. Well, we just got home from Bali in Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to Egypt in a couple of weeks. We actually leave on the 13th.
You're going on the 13th on one of those special 5-star trips?
You know, this is a different kind of trip. This is a trip with Beyond Words, the publishing company that published The Secret.
Oh, really?
And so we have like a fairly large group. We're doing a fairly large boat. And there are speakers. I'm going to do my Square One workshop, and Hollister Rand, and James Twyman, and
wow,
it's a really nice group. So
very nice group.
I'm looking very forward to it.
Now, tell us a little bit more about Beyond Words and what they do, and I think they're the ones that you also work with for your cards that you put out, right?
Yeah, they're the publishers of my note cards, and the Enlighten Up cards, and they're the publishers of the coloring book, the Course in Miracles coloring book, and they also published my son Matthew's Buddha coloring book.
How amazing!
And they've been dear friends. They've been very dear friends for many years.
Wow!
So, and they were the original publishers of The Secret.
That's fantastic. Now, I didn't know that I know your son. And you know what?
Yes.
A lot of people may not realize what a brilliant artist he is. I know you know, but but he lives here on Maui, doesn't he?
He does. And his work is throughout the Sansei restaurants.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah, all those Japanese beautiful images Matthew did.
Well, and so is he going on this trip to Egypt with you?
No, he's not. He's not. They have gone to Egypt with us.
Uh-huh. Well,
and they loved it.
So how many people are going to be in this group?
This group has about 44 people, 45 people.
And you're going to be based in Cairo?
No, we start in Cairo and then we go down the Nile. You know, go to Luxor and all around. We're on a cruise ship. We're at the Great Pyramid for a few days, so we're moving around a little bit.
Wow,
it's a little bit different than the ones that we do on the private yacht.
We're doing one on the private yacht over New Year's. A really fun trip on the private yacht. I'm looking very forward to it.
December 27th to January 8th.
Well, it's good to hear your voice, Gary. I didn't even realize you were online. How you doing?
Aloha, pretty good.
It's good to hear your voice. So
I have to get in on these things too.
No, I love it. I love it. He's the man. Gary's the man. He knows how to shop. I mean, he's the man you want to follow in a marketplace in Cairo.
I am a good shopper. That's for
you
sure.
are. You are.
To come in.
We bought a lot of stuff in Bali and Thailand.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure you did sell out. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I'm sure you sold out the one that's coming up with James Twyman and all that. That's already a done deal, right? Because that's just 2 weeks away.
That's a done deal.
But the one in January, is it January?
It's going to be December 27th, and we're going to spend 8 days on the Nile, celebrating New Year's Eve on the Nile.
How wonderful. Whoa, that's amazing.
Yes, the F&D, and it's the same ship that Kathy went on and wrecked.
Wow, isn't that wonderful? So what a way to start off the new year. I was excited to see that REM got to play there. Did you hear about that? REM playing?
Yes, I did. That was really neat.
It was wonderful. How nice
to... some good concerts.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to have them there, because and you've seen it, there's still... it still kind of could use some tourism. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking when you see all the people who are being affected, because there's some people still afraid of going to places like Cairo. Is that changing? Are you seeing, Gary, that change some with more people? Are more tourists coming?
Oh, yeah. Right now, Egypt is one of the number one destinations.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you have to remember something, Cindy, that 100 things could happen in America, and
Yeah.
20 things could happen in London, and 10 things could happen in Paris. But one thing happens in Egypt, and they're totally destroyed.
Yeah.
It's just played over and over again. So
Yep.
when you look at what's safe and what isn't safe, I mean, hardly anything bad happens in Egypt compared to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was the number one tourist destination. Things have really changed.
Right now it is. A lot of Europeans, a lot of Chinese, a lot of South Koreans. It's really huge right now. I mean, now people want to go there, and I've never felt unsafe. And it's like saying, when you go to a church or a mosque or a synagogue in the U.S., things have happened. I mean, It's happened twice in 10 years in Egypt that something like that's happened. It happens here more often than not.
What is the museum going to be finished by January?
I don't think so.
But they're letting people kind of do tours of parts of it. So I'm hoping we get to see it then. I don't know if we're going to see it on this next one, but I'm hoping on our trip in December we'll get to go in. It's absolutely magnificent. I mean, it is so big. It's amazing. It's mind-boggling.
I saw a TV special. PBS, I think, there was an amazing TV special about it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, Egypt, to me, Egypt, I've been going there since 1994. And the first time we went, everyone was a little afraid, to be honest.
Yeah.
We really were. We didn't know what to expect, and we had heard, we just didn't know. We just heard stories that weren't even true, right? So when we got there, it was like all these bubbles in my head were freed, and I didn't have to hold any space for fear because I thought it was all in my head. It wasn't a real thing. So we've been going since 1994, and we travel all over the world. And honestly, I've never felt afraid anywhere.
Yeah,
I really haven't.
You're right. You're absolutely so right. I know any real professional traveler knows this, and we do the Peter Greenberg show. He says exactly the same thing. The best time to travel is when their tourism is low, of course. And you're going to be. You understand that. I mean, there was even that fear. You were in Bali. There were the people who were afraid because there had been the earthquake and tsunami, which wasn't really that close, but there is even that. And I want to hear about your experiences because I saw some amazing pictures on Facebook of your Bali experience. So when was the last time you've been in Bali?
Not too long ago, maybe 3 years ago.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Everywhere we went was really hot. Carrie and I tried to figure out if it's because we're getting older, or if the planet is really.
It's global warming. It's global warming.
It was. It was really hot.
Where did you stay in Bali?
We stay in Ubud, and we stay at this great place. It's a small boutique hotel. It's right on the river. We have a room that we stay in all the time. It's just beautiful. Air conditioned swimming pools. It's right in the jungle. I love it, and very a couple of miles from town, so it's not in the middle of everything, which is really nice. Yet you're not far, so it was great.
Well, I was in Ubud. It has to be almost 30 years ago, and I'm afraid it must have gotten much more populated. But it used to be very small, and I mean, lovely artists, lovely crafts, and now I think
everything has changed.
Yes.
Everything has changed.
Yeah.
It's become modernized where you can go to the restaurants and they say, we offer gluten-free. I mean,
avocado.
So-
Did they have avocado toast? Did you have that for breakfast? And we know, has it gotten to
Of
that
course.
point? Yes, of course. And I know there's a lot of yoga retreats there now.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, everywhere we went, we talked to people that were there for yoga retreats.
I know.
Yeah. And there used to be an internet cafe every 5 feet,
Uh-huh.
so that you could use your computer. Those are all gone.
Why?
And, because no one needs them. Everyone has their phone.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody has Wi-Fi.
Everyone has Wi-Fi on their phone. No
Wow.
one really needs them. There are no bookstores. Used bookstores used to be tons of them. There are none of those because no one's reading books. That's great.
But one of the things I did love, and I still remember, and it's done, I mean, of course, is the lovely little offerings outside the businesses. Most beautiful.
That they still do.
Yes.
They still have wonderful massage places with flower baths that we've been going to for like 30 years that we love in Ubud. I mean, that's the only place we stay. I really love it.
Uh-huh.
And it's still very jungle, and it's still very, it still feels like Ubud.
Well, did you get...
There are many more Asian tourists there, like Chinese folks and Korean folks, than there are Americans.
Very
few Westerners compared to the rest of the world.
Well, I went to New Zealand and Australia over Christmas, and I could not believe the amount of Chinese tour groups actually on board the ship and in New Zealand.
They're huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing it here on Maui so much because actually the Chinese groups don't come as much to I don't think Hawaii, but boy, talking about some of the spots, I mean, it has changed tourism, and they're actually dedicating some special ships, cruise ships, to accommodate what the Chinese tourist wants. Which I guess they like to gamble. They like to gamble a lot. So
they
love to gamble. So there you go. And who knows? And they don't drink so much, I guess, because I guess when they travel with their parents, they're not supposed to drink so much. I wouldn't have known that. I heard that on the Frommer show we run.
Interesting, but in Ubud, I would say from 4 years ago to 10 years ago, I mean, it's much, much, much more crowded, and the traffic is super heavy getting into the city.
Wow. We weren't even there during the busy time.
Yeah, we were. The busy time was July and August, and we were there during the rainy season, and you couldn't believe how busy it was. And Andrea and I also thought we were probably the oldest people around there.
Really?
Everybody was like under 30.
Well, there's also, and I remember, and I stayed at that lovely teak, beautiful hotel that's like a tourist spot. I mean, very expensive, 5-star hotel in town, but not and not in Crazy Kuta, outside Kuta. What's the name? I forget the name of it. As a Hyatt or something, I forget. But it was lovely, but had to have a driver. Did you have a driver, or did you drive yourself?
Oh, yeah.
What we do is we've had the same driver for 20 years.
Oh, good. Good.
And so he met us at the hotel, and we, because he knew all our spots where we have to purchase things.
And his kids have all grown up, and now they have kids. It's amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Well, there used to be with the driver, I remember when we were driving around, sometimes you'd have to pay off the policemen. There were also little...
Oh, yeah.
You used
to stop them.
Yeah.
We had that happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to pay them off. So that hasn't changed any. Now, I want to know...
Not much has changed. If there's a ceremony, everything stops.
I like that. Yeah. I remember funeral ceremonies are huge there, right?
Yes.
Funerals and full moons and everything you can imagine they have ceremonies for. They're just precious.
So I want to talk to you as an artist because I love your art, Andrea. And for those who may not know, Andrea is so generous. She let me use a beautiful piece she created for a CD I did called A Rise Above Abuse. It was just beautiful, just gorgeous.
I love that piece.
Yeah, I love that piece too. So, but your art, were you influenced? And I know there's a different style of art in Ubud and Bali. Did you feel that influence of the feeling of Bali when you were creating art?
Oh, totally. I have Balinese pieces that I did. The offering and all kinds of Balinese women. Because they're so beautiful. Mm-hmm. The costumes that they wear and the grace that they walk with and those things that they put on their heads, the offerings, those huge baskets and the temples. I mean, it's just, it's another world, Bali. It really is. That's why I love it so much. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, it is getting more crowded, but if you get to the essence of it and you talk to the people, they're so sweet and so special.
I remember when I lived out in Huelo, and I lived at this amazing place done by White Star, and he had
I know White Star.
You know White Star, the temple. Then you know what that kind of building it was.
Yes.
And then he went and built a place in Bali that was supposed to be quite a mansion. I think he was renting it out. I'm not sure what happened, but there were people for a while here in the 80s going down to Bali and living or building places and stuff. And
well, Emerald, that guy Emerald?
Yeah, Emerald, yeah.
Well, he lives there. He's lived there for years.
Yeah. I think Emerald's tied into royalty or something. Isn't he related to some...
I don't know exactly what the connection is.
Yeah, I think he's tied into royalty there.
Yeah, but he's lived there for a very long time.
So what was your favorite kind of restaurant in Ubud you'd recommend people to go to?
What was the name of it, Gary?
Clear.
Clear. Clear. It was we were, we had been in there years ago because I remembered the mural they had on the wall. They had like all of these peace people from all over the world painted on the wall in black and white, and I remember it very vividly. But now they've changed it totally. They've remodeled it. It's modern and gorgeous, and the food is fabulous.
So here's what we would do, Cindy. We would go there and have seared ahi dinner with a beverage, no alcohol.
They don't even serve alcohol.
That would be compared probably in Sedona to maybe a $200 dinner.
Uh-huh.
And it was costing us $40. And,
wow.
And that was for, really wonderful, wonderful meals.
Yeah.
But, meals are so inexpensive there.
So Gary, how much did you buy there for in your shopping expeditions?
We spent about $50,000.
Oh my God! That's amazing.
It's fun to spend it, really.
I love it.
Well, we don't go back that often, so it has to last.
I buy enough for years.
It has to last a few years.
Well, for those who don't know, I mean,
know.
you have to, when you go to Sedona, go to Tlaquepaque, and your beautiful art gallery there, Andrea and Gary, truly is like going into a museum.
Thank you.
It is.
Everything is devoted to the feeling of peace.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
the thing that amazed me, which I didn't really realize when we started, was Buddhas just don't go out of style. You can have Buddhas for 20 years.
That's true.
Buddhas do not go out of style. They've been around for so long from so many different cultures. Same thing with Kuan Yin and Ganesh.
But there's a different
The
Buddha.
things
The
that
style
haven't
of a
changed
Buddha
much.
from Bali is different than the other Buddhas from India, right? You have a different style Buddha.
They're all different.
Yeah.
All of them are different.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, the Buddhas are different.
Yeah.
That's what I love about them, really.
Yeah.
But the more unusual ones, people don't recognize.
Yeah.
They recognize, very traditional the Balinese Buddha. They recognize easily.
Well, we have 2 minutes left, and I want Gary or you to let people know how they can sign up for this trip to Egypt in December 27th.
So we have 2 staterooms available on the yacht, the Affendina, and all they have to do is call the gallery and say we want to go, and we'll send them, or say they want information, we'll send them an itinerary and everything they need to know.
So I guess you better give the number at the gallery.
Yeah, it's 928-203-9002.
928-203-9002?
Yeah.
And people...
And people can email me directly if they want. I'm happy to take any emails with questions.
And what's that?
A is in Apple, S is in Smith, F is in Frank, A is in Art, L is in Long, T is in Tom, D is in Dog, at AOL.com.
So what's the word exactly? What's the, besides?
ASFALTD.
Okay, and you can also go to the website?
Yeah, the website, we don't advertise any of the trips on the website.
Yeah, but it has your number there and everything.
It has all our information, AndreaSmithGallery.com.
And it's worth going to AndreaSmithGallery.com because I just like to have time to look at all the beautiful pictures. I really do. No, really, it's no, I love it. I love not only yours that are there, but there's some other artists that you have on display at the gallery as well. And it's a lovely experience to go to your website, AndreaSmithGallery.com, right?
Right, you got it, Cindy. We're going to be in Hawaii in June.
Oh, I'll have to see you. Well, I'm coming to Sedona in May, so I want to see you when we'll go to one of our favorite restaurants there, maybe Lisa Dahl's restaurant for lunch or dinner, okay?
You got it. We always look forward to seeing you, my Cindy.
You too, and have a wonderful trip, and I want to see pictures when you go to eat to your next trip to Egypt.
I'll post, honey. I'll post.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I'll feel like I'm there. God bless you, and thank you for calling, and aloha.
Aloha, Cindy.